Hello and welcome to another video in Digital Literacy Beginners type series. My name's Sam, the Lazy Lecturer. So, today we are going to we're going to start getting started with Google and email. We're going to set up a Google account, set up a Gmail, which is an email account, and we're going to send and receive an email, and we're going to attach a file to an email. Now, I'm using presentation PowerPoint here just because there's a lot of personal information when you use your own account, so I need to hide that. So you'll see little blue bars hiding personal details and things. So here we go. So the first thing we're going to do is open up our browser. So that could be Google Chrome, which is the nice little wheelie shape there. It might be Firefox or it might be Internet Explorer. I would suggest you use Google Chrome or Firefox, but that's just a personal taste. There are other ones. Right, and then you would just go ahead and type in Google. It'll give you an option to sign in or create an account. Sometimes, if not, we'll look at another screen that will get you to that. And if you already have an account, it'll have a picture of you in the far corner, like there. And some dots. Now if I clicked on my one, it would ask me which account to sign into if there were already accounts on there. It's really important when you finish a session to make sure that you sign out, especially if you're on a computer that somebody else will use, because they can sometimes get into your account, which is not a good idea. So then if you're going to choose an account or start setting one up, sometimes you'll get this for the create a new account, in which case you click on the create account and it's going to ask you a lot of details. You're going to need your mobile phone as a backup because that's kind of how it's going to verify it. But we'll talk about some of the security steps later on. So you put your email or your phone number in once you've got an account, and then you put your password in. If it recognizes you, then it's going to recognize the email address, then it's asking you for your password. Do be really careful with your passwords. Don't make them easy things. Try to use, let's just create some examples here with a text box. So remember to use capital letters sometimes. And even some letters, so always 5, and then maybe even a symbol or some kind, such as an equals or whatever. It makes it a little bit harder than just having a word, especially if that word is very clear for you. So let's just cut that away. Right, so let's as I say, you can always click on yourself over there. And if you need to, then it's over here is your symbol. Once you've created an account, you'll have either a letter, or if you use a picture to your account, which we'll look at in a different time, then you'll be there. Now you will also have these little dots, which are your apps. Let's just go and yep. Okay, so if I just bring this over here just a second, so if I click on those 9 little dots, I get all the apps. So I've got my account, which we'll come to in a minute. Google Search, Google Play. These are very similar if you have Android phones. Your Google Drive, which we'll come to a bit later, YouTube, Gmail, and you get your calendar. Gmail will be the email account, which once you've set up your Google account, you've actually set up your Gmail account at the same time. Great, but if you click on the picture of yourself, or it might just be letters such as your first letter of your name, then you'll get to the thing that's going to let you have a look at setting up privacy or whatever on your account. Now obviously some of that will be personal details, so I'll switch back to here. Okay, so the first one you can have a look at is your personal info. And you can set this up so that who will see it and control what people see. My date of birth would be shown on here at the moment, but this is only for me. because it's got a padlock, it means that other people won't see it when they just search for me on Google, or if I have it just on my screen. So that's quite simple, self-explanatory. There's data and personalization, where you can have a look at some of the things that you've been doing and some of the other apps and how you sign into Google. I would seriously suggest that you have two-step verification on, and we will come to that a little bit later. You also have your account storage, and this is your Google account, so it will show you how much you're using of each particular thing. So you've got your photos, your Gmail, your Drive, and you can put quite a lot onto this because you get 15 gigabytes for free. And 15 gigabytes is actually quite a lot. It's about 32,000 or more Word type or email type documents, and it's about 6,500 pictures. It'll disappear very quickly if you do videos, but you can always save them somewhere else. So on the security, it's worth, obviously it will also show you recovery number. It's always worth having a phone number attached to it and a different email address if possible. Now then, if we go and remember to click either on Gmail or in the apps, you'll see Gmail, then it's going to open up your inbox. Now, if you don't have an inbox, there won't be anything in there. But so this is what your inbox can look like. Lots of different emails here, and then different headings: promotion, social, and primary. Whilst we're on this screen, if you click on this thing where there's a yellow circle, it will highlight all of those, and then it will come up with a different bar across here, and one of those will be a dustbin, which will allow you to delete everything that is showing up here. Instead of clicking on this yellow box, you can click at them one at a time, put a tick on them, it will just change slightly shading, and then you'll get these symbols at the cross, and then you can press a delete, and that allows you to delete the emails, because sooner or later you don't want to keep them all on there. So do remember housekeeping and get rid of your emails. Remind you later. There's also social and promotions, same thing. You'll see different emails appear in there, and you're going to delete those hopefully occasionally as well. Right. Now then, if you click compose, which you'll see here, and it'll be composing or write in other programs, and then you'll get this new messagey type thing appearing here, and this is where we're going to compose our email. Now I'm just going to bring one across up here. I will have to hide something in a minute. Right, so what we're going to do is, the first thing to do is the recipients. This is who you're going to send your email to. To get to each part of it, when you first see it, it's small, but you'll have two little arrows pointing outwards. You click on those, it'll take it full screen. If I did them now, it would go smaller. You also have this little bar at the bottom here, which these are the formatting options. So I can hit this A with a line underlined, and they will disappear, or they come back. And this will allow me to make the bold text, or put it in italics, underline, change the text color, and you can align the text. You can even put bullet points in. We'll look at those in just a minute. So the first step is recipients. These are the people you're sending it to. So when I click on the recipients box, it will change to 2. This is when you have to type in the email address in full. Now then, if it's not an actual email address, or it doesn't look like an email address, then it won't. It'll come up with an error, and you'll have to. It'll come up as an error when you send it. So, what is important is that there are no spaces. So, I've now got some spaces in here. as you can see, I'm putting them in. So make sure there are no spaces. If there are, you have to delete them back. It's quite interesting when you type into here. If you go someone at ASO, oh no, it does let you do it. .com. It will come up in red to say there's a problem with that, and in this case it's because there's a space in it. Right, also you will need this AND symbol. You'll find it on your keyboard, usually sort of on the left side or on the left, not far from the enter and above the shift key. And it's got A in it. All email addresses will have an @ symbol. They will have normally like a name or your personal details. Then it will have @, and that's where the email is going to, the provider. It'll have the provider. So in our case, for these, it'll have gmail.com. There are other ones such as yahoo.co.uk or yahoo.com, or live.com is another very popular one. And then right. Now then, what else can we do whilst we're here? Oh, subject. So if I click in the subject box, it's always a good idea to have a subject. Emails without subjects are quite often emails that have come from people who don't know you, or bots just spamming emails. So any email that comes to you without a subject, you should treat as suspicious. The other thing that you need to be a bit aware of is clicking on links. So but we'll come to that. So if we just see this insert link down at the bottom, and I click that, and I say, well, actually we're going to text to display in the email, so we're going to have a real bargain, or we could even have your bank account, and then I put in a URL. Okay, so now interestingly, if you click on that, it's not going to take you to your bank account. It's actually going to take you to one of my videos. There you go, see, blatant spamming there and phishing. So I'll just do that away. So be careful with anything that is especially blue underlined, because that is basically a hyperlink. You click on those, you're going to open up something, and it may not be what it says it is. So it's quite useful. But then if you had a website you wanted to share and you trust that person, then you can put in a insert link. Now I always like to say what it is, my video, and I will usually also use that up there, so that I like to be honest about what you're going to be connecting to, but not everybody is honest. Unfortunately, that's the way the world is. Now then, the other thing is down here we have a paperclip, and the paperclip is really quite cool because it allows us to attach images or whatever. So I'm just going to put that over there a bit so you can only see some. Oh no, that. So this will take you into your desktop or wherever, and it's opened a particular one for me. So that's a Word document. I click on it when it's asking me to attach, and I go open, and now down here it's attaching that document. If I go to this paperclip symbol, and I go and I can attach a picture, a nice picture of Chepstow Castle, and now I've got the picture. You can also, and why not make your emails happy, you can also put in emojis. This is the Google Drive, and you can insert files using your Google Drive. I'm not going to do that because you'll see some details in there. You can insert a photo. You can either do it like I did it, or that will take you to your photos, and obviously you'll see lots of rather embarrassing photos of me. And you can also insert your from Google Drive. You can also play with turning your confidential mode on or off. We'll look at that in the future, but basically you can set some security on your email. It's very rarely used, that one. And then once you've done all of that, you're just going to press send, and away it goes. So then, if you go back to your inbox, you can click on the sent, and it will show you whether your email's been sent. And that is setting up your Google account and email with attachments. When you get an email in your inbox, you just double click on the email and it will open it up for you. Right, I just had a message then. Right, just quickly have a look at making your account a little bit more secure. You can go keeping Google account safe and Google for that, and then in this particular one it's that one there. But you can also do it from, as I say, from your Google account earlier, if you remember. I'll just go back and pull that slide back up. When you're managing your account, you've got those settings in there that you can use. So if we just come to one that is very important, and this is the two-step verification. It's going to ask you to put in a phone details. I'll give you these ideas. And when it happens, what happens is that sometimes when you're logging into your Google account, when you're doing your password or whatever, sometimes it will say it's going to do some security, and it's going to suggest that it texts a code to your phone. It'll then come up with a screen for that. You'll have to check your phone, get the text, and put the number in, and it's a security step. You can also use it if you forget your password, which is something that happens all too often with email accounts and passwords. So do Google keeping your Google account safe, and just have a look at it. It's really quite important. And that's it for this video. Thank you very much. Goodbye.